Let me tell you something most men learn the hard way. Women don't lose attraction because a man is too nice. They lose attraction because he has no boundaries. And if you don't set them early, she won't just cross them, she'll erase them. Now listen closely, because I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to tell you the truth most men never hear, especially from a woman. If a woman senses, even subconsciously, that you'll tolerate disrespect, emotional inconsistency, or being put last, she won't hate you for it. She'll use it. And today, I'm going to show you the 5 boundaries every man must set early, or he'll slowly lose respect, attraction, and control in the relationship without even realizing how it happened. And yes, this is female psychology. So if you want her to respect you, not manage you, stay with me. Because boundary number 1 separates the men women walk over from the men women fear losing. Before we dive deeper, a quick message. If you've been learning from my videos and you want to support this work, you can subscribe to me on Facebook with a paid membership, send stars, or join my YouTube channel's paid community. Your support helps me create more powerful content for you, and I truly appreciate every bit of it. All right. Now let's continue. Here's the uncomfortable truth most men don't want to hear. Women don't test boundaries because they're evil. They test boundaries because they need to know where safety, strength, and leadership exist. It's hardwired into female psychology, a subconscious survival mechanism that's been there for thousands of years. She needs to know if you'll hold your ground when life gets difficult, if you'll protect your standards when pressure comes, if you'll maintain your direction when she's emotional. And when a man fails those tests, her attraction doesn't disappear overnight. It leaks out slowly, through nagging, through disrespect, through emotional distance, through a coldness she can't even explain to herself. Until one day she says, "I just don't feel the same anymore." And the man is left confused, because he gave her everything. But that's exactly the problem. He gave everything without requiring anything in return. He had no floor. No standard, no line she couldn't cross. And that absence of boundaries didn't make her feel free. It made her feel unsafe. Because a man without boundaries is a man without self-respect, and a man without self-respect cannot lead. Let's make sure that never happens to you. If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, yet still getting less respect, this next part explains exactly why. Boundary number 1. Do not over-explain your decisions. This is where most men destroy their power without realizing it. When you explain every choice, every decision, every boundary, you're not communicating, you're seeking approval. And female psychology reads that instantly. Think about it. When a woman makes a decision she believes in, truly believes in, does she spend 20 minutes justifying it? No. She states it and moves on. But when a man sets a boundary and then immediately launches into paragraphs of explanation, he's already lost. Because what he's really saying is, "Please don't be upset with me." And that energy, that approval-seeking, people-pleasing energy, is the opposite of attractive. A man who over-explains is a man who doubts himself. And doubt is contagious. It seeps into how she sees you, how she responds to you, how she respects you. Strong men don't argue for their standards. They state them and let reality enforce them. When you say, "I'm not okay with that," and then you go silent, that silence does more psychological work than any argument ever could. Because now she's forced to process you, not manipulate you. She can't debate. She can't negotiate. She can't wear you down with emotion. All she can do is decide, accept this boundary, or leave. And that decision, that clarity, is where respect is born. Attraction lives in certainty. When you're certain, she feels safe. When you're uncertain, she feels anxious. And anxiety doesn't create attraction. It creates contempt. Explanation kills mystery. Mystery fuels respect. The less you justify your standards, the more powerful they become. If you think setting boundaries means being cold or rude, wait until you hear boundary number 2. Boundary number 2. Your time is not always available. Here's a harsh truth. When you are always available, you are never valued. Men think availability shows interest. Women experience it as low demand. And low demand means low value. Not because women are shallow, but because value is perceived through scarcity. This applies to everything in life. Gold is valuable because it's rare. Diamonds are prized because they're difficult to obtain. And your time? It should be the same. Female psychology doesn't chase what's always there. It tests it. It probes it. And if it finds unlimited access, it loses interest. If she knows you'll drop everything instantly, cancel plans, ignore your priorities, reschedule your life around her moods, she doesn't feel chosen. She feels in control. And control kills attraction. A man with a life, real priorities, structure, purpose, becomes emotionally magnetic because his time must be earned, not assumed. He's not sitting by the phone waiting. He's building something, creating something, moving towards something bigger than momentary validation. And that focus, that drive, that becomes intoxicating. You don't need to say, "I'm busy" to seem cool. You actually need to be busy building something bigger than her validation. And paradoxically, that's when she wants you most. Not because you're playing games, but because you're living like a man with options, purpose, and self-worth. And women are biologically wired to be attracted to men who other people, and other women, want. It's called pre-selection, and it's why the man who's always available is rarely the man she's obsessing over. Most men lose respect not because of what they do, but because of what they tolerate. This next boundary proves it. Boundary number 3. Do not tolerate disrespect disguised as jokes. This is subtle and deadly. When a woman mocks you, belittles you, or jokes at your expense, she's not flirting. She's probing. She's testing to see if you value yourself enough to defend your dignity. And every time you laugh it off to keep the peace, you fail the test. Female psychology watches how you respond to disrespect. Do you shrink? Do you joke back nervously? Do you explain how it made you feel? Do you seek her validation after she's insulted you? Or do you calmly shut it down? A simple, "Don't talk to me like that." No anger, no drama, no emotion, just certainty. That response rewires how she treats you, because now she knows this man respects himself, and self-respect is contagious. When you respect yourself, others mirror that respect. When you don't, they mirror that too. Here's what most men don't understand. Women, especially high-value women, are subconsciously looking for a man who won't tolerate disrespect. Not because they want to be controlled, but because they want to know they're with a man who has standards, a man who knows his worth, a man who won't bend himself into a pretzel just to avoid conflict. Conflict isn't the enemy. Weakness is. And tolerating disrespect, even small comments, even jokes, signals weakness. Not to hurt you, but to test you. And if you pass that test, her respect for you deepens. Her attraction intensifies, because she realizes, this is a man I can't manipulate. And ironically, that's exactly the kind of man she wants to surrender to. If you think boundaries are about control, you're missing the deeper psychology. This next one changes how she bonds to you emotionally. Boundary number 4. You do not chase emotional chaos. Some women unconsciously create drama to feel connection. It's not malicious, it's a pattern, often learned in childhood, reinforced through past relationships, embedded in her nervous system as the only way to get attention. And men, especially inexperienced ones, chase it. They argue, they explain, they fix, they overinvest. They think, if I just say the right thing, she'll calm down. But here's what actually happens. By chasing the chaos, you reward it, and what gets rewarded gets repeated. You train her nervous system to associate chaos with attention. Drama becomes the language of connection, and before you know it, you're in a relationship where peace feels foreign and conflict feels like home. A strong man does the opposite. He disengages from emotional nonsense, not to punish, but to protect his peace. He doesn't reward tantrums with conversations. He doesn't reward disrespect with reassurance. He doesn't feed the fire with his attention. Instead, he becomes emotionally steady, calm, grounded, unmoved. And that steadiness feels safe, grounding, and deeply attractive. Because feminine energy relaxes around masculine calm. She doesn't need you to match her emotional intensity. She needs you to be the rock when she's the wave. And when you refuse to participate in chaos, one of two things happens. Either she learns that drama doesn't work on you and she adjusts, or she leaves because she needs chaos more than she needs connection. And either way, you win, because chaos only survives where boundaries don't exist. If you've ever felt like you were giving more than you were getting, this next boundary explains why. Boundary number 5. Never invest more than she does early on. This is the one that changes everything. Attraction grows through mutual investment, not one-sided pursuit, not overfunctioning, not trying to prove your worth by doing more, giving more, sacrificing more. When you invest too fast, too much, too soon, you remove the challenge. And without challenge, there's no chase. Without chase, there's no chemistry. Female psychology values what must be earned. If she hasn't earned your loyalty, effort, or emotional availability, giving it freely makes it worthless. This doesn't mean playing games. It means pacing connection. It means matching energy, not leading with desperation. Let her show interest. Let her initiate sometimes. Let her invest emotionally. Let her wonder about you. Let her work to keep your attention. When investment is balanced, respect grows naturally. And when respect exists, attraction follows without force. Think about every relationship you've seen fall apart. How many times was it because one person gave everything while the other gave nothing? The giver becomes resentful, the taker becomes bored, and the relationship dies, not from lack of love, but from lack of balance. Your job as a man is not to carry the entire relationship on your back. Your job is to set the standard and see if she rises to meet it. If she does, you found someone worth investing in. If she doesn't, you've saved yourself months or years of heartbreak. Now let me say something most men need to hear. Boundaries are not walls. They're filters. They don't push good women away. They remove women who would have drained you. And the right woman? She doesn't fight boundaries. She feels safe inside them. She doesn't see them as restrictions. She sees them as proof that you value yourself, and by extension, that you'll value her. Because deep down, women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can trust to lead. A man who knows where he's going. A man who won't fold under pressure. A man who loves her, but doesn't need her validation to feel whole. That's the man she respects. That's the man she's attracted to. That's the man she doesn't want to lose. And boundaries are how you become that man. If this video opened your eyes even a little, make sure you like and subscribe. Because this channel exists to give you the wisdom most people are too afraid to say out loud. And don't stop here. Check out the other videos on this channel for more truth, psychology, and real-world relationship insight. The kind that actually protects your self-respect and your future. Because once you understand female psychology, you stop chasing, and you start choosing. And that shift, from chaser to chooser, changes everything.